Well, it looks like I'm talking about the game after all. The Ace Lightning video game was released on the 25th of October 2002, developed by Absolute Studios for the PlayStation 2, Microsoft Windows and Game Boy Advance. The plot of the game is very similar to the first season of the show. Lord Fear has stolen the Amulet of Zor, but has been shattered into pieces scattered throughout the Carnival of Doom. It's up to Ace Lightning to find them all, to defeat Fear and send him back to prison in the 6th dimension. Ace is the only playable character in the game. His moveset is pretty simple. He can move, jump, and use his lightning lance to zap or hit enemies with. If he's low on health, he can find lightning energy to recharge himself, or little lightning bolts or hearts to gain extra life and to power up his lance. If he runs out of energy, he resorts to his wrist cannons that can only stun enemies, but he can still punch. And that's pretty much it. They've kinda slightly depowered Ace in the game. He can't even fly, which is one of his primary powers in the actual show. The main hub of the game is the Carnival of Doom, where each of the 5 levels are presented as attractions to the carnival. These attractions are Googler's Big Top, the House of Illusion, Cowboy Crossroads, Clumberg Castle and the Haunted House. Each attraction has 3 different parts, each one containing different objectives and enemies to fight. The third part of each level having a boss fight against one of the video game's villains. The bosses of the game include Googler for Googler's Big Top, Lady Illusion for the House of Illusions, Dirty Rat for Cowboy Crossroads, which I always found was an odd choice. I mean, what does Dirty Rat have got to associate with cowboys? That makes no sense. Random Virus for Clumberg Castle, and finally Lord Fear for the Haunted House, alongside Pigface and Anvil. As the show itself involved video games, it makes sense for them to have an adaptation of the game. But there's a few key differences between the game in real life to the game in the show. The biggest one being the cutscenes. The cutscenes seen in the show for the game were more motion and interactive, but the cutscenes shown in the actual game are more of a comic book style. Also, it's pretty clear that none of the voice actors from the show reprised their roles. Most of the stuff that was said about the game in the show is not really featured in the game itself. In fact, it's kind of debatable whether this game is actually good. The controls are very stiff and the camera can get caught so easily, making certain levels difficult to play through. And that's all I can really say about this game. The only thing I can say is it was released during Season 1, so it has more elements from Season 1 than it does from Season 2. I always did wonder if Season 2 was more successful, there would have been a sequel to the video game. But I guess we'll never know.